What is freedom to you? In general, freedom is defined as ability to act or change without constraint. And I guess to different people, freedom is fairly different. For example, to a person who is in a wheelchair, freedom is merely ability to get up and walk around. A person who is in prison, freedom is to be out of the prison. To me, freedom from the very early age was about was the ability to make a living freely without anyone telling you what to do. Well, I tell you why. It's very, very easy to understand. I was growing up with my grandpa and grandma. Well, my parents were there, but they worked from morning till night, and they would leave me in the village right next door with grandma and grandpa. My grandpa was a tailor, excellent tailor. The suits that he made, oh my gosh, you should have seen them. But he never made any suits for sale. People would come to him and ask him to make suits for them, and they offered money. He always refused. And we were a poor family, and that would have been great money because a good suit costs really good money. My granddad always refused. I didn't understand why. On one hand, we all wore very basic, very ugly clothes made in the USSR. Most villages wore clothes, it looked like prison robes, more or less. And then we had very little money. On the other hand, my grandpa had this ability in his hands, and I didn't understand. So we all dressed poorly, but once in a while, when there was a celebration, a day off, holiday, granddad would put on his suit he made for himself. And oh my gosh, it was, I don't know, perfect. I think I have not seen a better suit since then, 40 years. His suit it made him look like, I don't know, an English gentleman. It was just incredible, incredible suit, like out of Civil Row. Later, when I was a teenager, I kept on asking, Grandpa, why don't you make suits? You're such a great tailor. He told me his story. That's pretty tragic. He didn't finish school. He was given, by his parents, he was given into a tailor shop when he was 12. And he started, getting his hands on the trade to become the tailor. For 4 years, he was just a mere assistant, and he's made his first suit at the age of 16. And then he was making suits. He was a tailor until World War II. Then he spent 4 years as a Russian soldier, and he came back and he started, working as a tailor, but he was just taking private orders, so to speak. People didn't have clothing back then, so they would come to him and ask him, Philip, his name was Philip, would you please make a suit for us, or dress for my wife, or dress for my daughter, and they would bring materials, the fabric, and then he was making clothing. And he was actually doing not bad, doing what he was trained to do. He lived in the village. He worked for the kolkhoz, for the government. He did his share of work 100%. In spare time, he was making suits and clothing. On one of the evenings, NKVD, former name of KGB, knocked on his door. 2 people were standing in uniform, very feared uniform, and they said, well, Philip, you gotta come with us. You committed a crime. You made a suit for one of the neighbors, he ratted you out, and you just made money illegally. You did business, and you know better than that business is not allowed in the USSR. So you're a criminal, you're an enemy. You come in with us. My grandpa freaked out. Oi, he said he was scared to death. They told him 10 years behind the bars. Well, not behind the bars, but somewhere in the labor camp, Gulag. I think it was like 1952, 1953, something like that. So he freaked out. He had 5 kids, my mom, my aunts, uncles, wife, and he had another family, my grandpa's sister and her 3 kids. And he was the sole provider. So they went to a local NKVD office, and, he was charged officially with the crime, making a suit. And they told him 10 years. Unless there was a way how to not go to prison. And there were 6 people, and they said, well, you know what? You're going to make us good suits. And if you do, we'll drop the charges. We'll make it as if nothing happened. We didn't knock on your door. So my grandpa jumped on the opportunity. They took him to the local office. He lived in a village. The local office was in a nearby town. They took him by car. They let him out. He walked all night. So he showed up in the morning, and everyone was crying all night because, father was arrested. So imagine the shock that my mom and her siblings were in. But anyway, my grandpa made NKVD officers suits. He said he bought the fabric, the materials himself. It was very expensive. He bought expensive stuff, very fine wool. And he made everyone, 6 people, suits. And they dropped the charges. They kept the word, which surprised me a lot. Still surprises me. And ever since, my grandpa was deathly afraid of taking money for making clothing for other people. So I understood them very well, and to me, that was the suppression of freedom. When you are made, when you're put into the position when you cannot make your living, and other people tell you how to work, where to work, and how much they're gonna pay you for that. Howdy, everyone. My name is Konstantin, and welcome to Inside Russia, where I give you latest updates of what's happening in Russia, giving you my takes, my opinions, and thank you very much for coming. Thank you for being with me today in the stream. I'm going to talk about how Russian economy that used to be free is not so free anymore with ever worsening prognosis or forecast. Oh, what is the economy? I did the entire stream on what economy is and how it works in Russia. But just in a couple words, it is a sum of all citizens' economic activities. Some citizens spend money, they work, they create product for someone else. Some are entrepreneurs. They create product, they create services, they sell. And if you sum all the activities of all people and the companies that they create, that is the economy. The economy will be thriving with one prerequisite, with one condition. It must be free. People must decide for themselves what they actually want to do, how they want to spend their money, spend their time, whether they want to work or no, whether they want to live well or not, whether they, want to start a company to make money, or they simply want to be employed. It's people's choices. They decide for themselves, okay? Of course, there are some other conditions. For example, the government must provide protection from, illegal takes on people's property. The property must be protected, things like that. But the main thing is there must be freedom of choice. And freedom of choice was in Russia, believe it or not. Back in the 90s, after the USSR fell apart, there was absolute freedom. In the 90s, no licensing, no approval by the government of anything, no permissions, nothing. People even got away without paying taxes, which is not a good thing, but it happened. So there was a complete freedom. It brought many challenges, but people were like drunk with freedom. Lots of people all of a sudden had the ability to do business. And I'm sure if my grandpa was alive, he would have jumped on that opportunity. He would have started making grad suits. But unfortunately, he was very sick at the time. The Soviet Union broke down and he died shortly after. So people started making business, make living, making money in the 90s, and the trend carried on to the 2000s. Now, recently I told you how 2000s were absolutely great for the Russians. We were riding the wealth wave, the money wave, and on one side the economy was being pumped with money, oil money, and economy was growing. On the other side, there was very little government control. It started happening towards 2008, 2009, but before, everything was great. And then, unfortunately, 2022 happened. All started in February. February 24th, Russia started doing unthinkable to Ukraine, bombing, flying rockets to Ukraine, bombing Ukraine, killing people, all kinds of stuff, bad stuff. And it did not go unnoticed. Lots of foreign companies made decisions to leave Russia. At first, they announced that they disagreed with what Russia was doing to Ukraine, and they were considering of the possibility of leaving Russia, or considering their future in Russia. It was all of a sudden, just in a matter of days, it started happening. Everyone was in shock. I was in shock. You all remember, it didn't happen to, it didn't happen a long time ago, So, lots of companies started thinking of leaving. And you know what the first reaction of government officials was? They'll never do that. They're capitalists. Their goal is to make a buck. They will never leave Russia. Oh, come on. It's just threats, bluff, fake, Okay, and all of a sudden, McDonald's closed the door in mid-March. Just like that. They announced we're closing the door, and they did. Just like that, the Swedish company called IKEA, huge presence in Russia. Just like that, closed the doors. They said, without any notice, tomorrow we're not working. I think the notice was like 1 or 2 days. All of a sudden, Apple, everyone has gadgets. Everyone has computers. Apple said, you know what? We're not going to do business in Russia anymore. Gone. And then, you know what they started saying? The government officials saying, the ones who said, they would never leave a few days before, they were saying, you know what? They're going to come back right after this is over. In a few weeks, they're going to be coming back, and we must think twice before letting them come back and to do business in Russia. And some were saying, we have to tax them. We have to create a new tax for the companies coming back to do business, to return to Russia. I was thinking, what are they smoking? What are they freaking smoking, But it happened. It's fact. Then more and more companies started leaving. Avalanche. And Russian government started getting concerned. Because those folks on top, there are smart people out there, at least some, and they understand. They understand the actions and the consequences, the reactions, that follow. And they understood right in the beginning. And you know what they did? They started doing the first step of destroying Russian economy. And by destroying, I mean making once free economy, or free to a certain degree, not free. They started telling companies whether they can or cannot leave, or how they can leave if they are allowed to. On March 7th, Prime Minister of Russia, Mikhail Mishustin, very bright guy, by the way. I'm not sure about his ethics and values, but his intelligence, he's very intelligent, okay? He's very smart. He was the head of a the revenue service of Russia, and then he perfected it. He made it work very well. He made it very effective. Now tax service puts its hand into Russians' pockets very effectively. So he was a smart guy. He signed a decree, the new regulations that started regulating how companies would leave Russia. A special government commission had to approve the deals with the companies from the enemy states, the foreign companies. Well, basically all foreign countries, well, most of Western countries are enemy states here in Russia. So therefore, the companies from the enemy states are considered different subjects of business here in Russia, large companies. So two requirements were created for the Western companies to leave. First of all, the assets had to be sold to Russian entrepreneurs, or corporations, and they Russian government must approve every single deal. That's number one. And the second requirement, well, a discount, a little tiny discount. A discount not less than 50% of market value of a company, of an asset, had to be provided. 50%. Now, imagine a Western company, a public company, right, doing business all over the world, a global company. And it has shareholders, it has goals, it has business strategy, it has, territories, and it wants to go to Russia because it's a good market. It's, profitable. It's not very risky. And then company invests lots of shareholders' money into a new project. Let's say gold mining. And Russian market allowing, they start making money. Russian government seems okay. And all of a sudden, bada bang, bada boom, the Russian government says, you know what, if you want to leave, and it starts doing atrocity to another country, and the company says, I want to leave, I don't want to do business in Russia anymore. And the Russian government says, oh, wait a second. You have to, you have to sell the assets, and you have to give at least 50% discount. Why? Well, because, we made the law. Nice. I think it was not even a law. It was a regulation by the Russian, like a sort of a prime minister's decree or something like that. So all the shareholders who live someplace else, they lose tons of money. For what? Because the Russian government said so, the new rules. And it's legal. You got to understand, this is very legal in Russia. They made it legal. They made the laws, the decrees, they made the judicial base for that, So it's absolutely, it's not like a highway robbery or anything like that. It's legal. So the good example of a company, Canadian company, Kinross Gold. It decided, gold mining, it decided to stop. It was operating in the Russian market for some time successfully. And then after February 24th, it decided to leave Russia, to sell its asset. And there were buyers, Russian companies, Russian officials, perhaps Russian entrepreneurs. It sold its business in Russia to a company called Highland Gold Mining, owned by the Russians, The original price, the market price, still the market price of this business is 680 million American dollars, and it was sold for 340 million of American dollars due to this new regulation. Guess who ate the difference? The shareholders. I have no words. So the slogan of the Russian government, if they want to leave, let them feel the heat. That's not fair. That's not free that's not free market economy. That's not what it's supposed to be. There shouldn't be any enter or exit barriers. But anyway, then it started getting worse. Wait a second. March 7th was just the beginning. Back then, the companies still could leave. For example, McDonald's left. It sold its business to a Russian businessman. And now McDonald's business is operating, not that successfully as McDonald's was, but it was called Tasty and Period. You all heard that. So still, there was a window or opportunity to leave. But now, there's another regulation, law, that hits two industries, financial industry, banks including, and energy industry, banks and energy companies. There is a ban to sell the companies for foreigners. If the foreigners own the companies or parts of the companies, the ban. They simply cannot sell it. The good examples are two banks that have been trying to sell their business. The first one is Raiffeisen, that's Austrian bank, and the second is Citibank, it's American, part of Citicorp, I believe. And they simply cannot sell their banks to Russian management of the banks, to Russian citizens, or to other bankers in Russia because they're simply not allowed. Now, a French bank called Société Générale, its Russian subsidiary was called Rosbank, was quick enough to sell its business before this ban was enacted. The French were smart. I'm gonna tell you, now, another example. Finnish energy company called Fortum. I know very well because that's one of our clients in the past. It cannot sell business here in Russia. A German company called Unipro, part of Uniper, cannot sell business here in Russia. It's regulated. It's under ban. And Unipro can't even pay dividends to foreign shareholders. Believe it or not, it's incredible. Now, there are about 1,338 companies, 1,338 companies in Russia that have foreign capital, partially or completely. 324 out of those companies have left Russia completely already. 334 companies are trying to leave. Well, they've stopped all investments, all activities for business development and growth, and stopped all marketing activities. They're kind of waiting for a window of opportunity, or perhaps some of them are sitting there and seeing what happens next. And then that's about 50% of all foreign companies here in Russia. And then another 50% is working. It's trying to leave, but it's not allowed to because it falls under certain regulations of Russian government. Now, I'm going to give you a few companies that have left Russia already, and the buyers has exercised the buying option of 50% discount, so to speak. These are large companies, okay, just to name a few. One is called Avito. Another one is Mondi, PPF Group NV, Societe Generale, Bell, Factory, King Ross, Gold Corporation, Mellon Fashion Group, Whirlpool, Bungie, Huhtamaki, PAB Agro, La Moda, Bonava AB, Global Parts, NL Russia, Siemens Russia, Otis, Good Valley, Klokovo, Starbucks, Data Art, Basetrack, Sibilla, Pizza Hut, Polik OE, Software One, Razio, PLC, McDonald's, Nissan, Renault. It's just largest companies that have left. And I think you understand the trend. I think you understand where it's going. Most of the foreign companies, they're trying to leave with as little losses as possible, okay? And the trend will continue. Now, I want to tell you why I think that free Russian economy is kaput. Yes, some of you gonna argue, well, Russian economy was never free. It was. I saw it with my own eyes. It was, okay? For some time, it was. It started degrading, yes. But it was more or less normal until, well, not normal, but like you could do business fairly safely until February 24th, okay? Now, after, I think it's done. Because this is what's going to happen next. Now, they are not, well, they're regulating. Basically, what they're doing is they are legally stealing assets here. You can't say stealing because there are laws, everything is legal. But in reality, it's a company who leaves Russia, wants to leave due to some ethical reasons or, you know, pressure of their own governments or other markets. Cannot do that. It has forfeit half of its value. If it's not stealing, tell me what it is, okay? It's foreign companies now. Foreign companies, and who is buying them? I'm pretty sure most of them, the most valuable assets. Imagine not buying a large company with 50% discount. Holy cow! Give me a chance of doing that, you know? The connected people. It's obvious. The connected companies. It's obvious. Now they're explaining to people their actions like this. We're punishing the foreign companies from the enemy states for sanctions that are placed upon Russia. If they want to leave, let them feel the heat. And a lot of Russians buying that. Little do they know that the next step will be, once all the foreign companies are taken care of, they're going to be starting doing the same thing to the independent companies here in Russia. There are still some independent, you know, financial groups, industrial groups. Once the foreign ones are left, they will start taking the Russian ones. And they will probably make a very good excuse, and they will make new laws. What kind of laws? I don't know. Regulation, rules, that will make everything legal. And to the Russians, they will say this. Well, you know what? These companies, they're Russian, but they have fallen under enemy's influence. Once they are done with the Russian large companies and they will control everything, all large business, guess who's going to be next? The tailors, just like my granddad. Regular people, you know, because by then that'll be very close to USSR 2.0. Vladimir Putin have said numerous times that he was very sorry about the USSR, you know, disintegration. it's obvious that the new SSR is on the horizon. It's coming up. It's coming soon, very soon. And this is what will happen. Unless things change. Our life is unpredictable, and the God is always watching and helping us. And karma law, don't write off karma law. So the new SSR 2.0 will be here unless something happens. The fact is, Russian economy is not free anymore. It's dead. It's being regulated by the government. Thank you so much for giving a chance to deliver another message to you. Thank you. Hope you liked it. Hope you found it interesting. Please let me know what you think in the comments. Lorna Mommy, as usual, number one. Thanks for coming. The usual suspects. Great to see you, everyone. Thank you for coming. As usual, please, Harry Potman, Blackad, Bob S, Amir. Howdy. Great to see you guys. Thank you. As usual, please put your comments and questions in caps after Inside Russia, after @ so it appears in a large orange box for me. I see it. That way it'll be much easier for me to answer your questions or comments. Thank you. I'll jump right into the comments and questions in caps and with Inside Russia after @ Brian Woods, happy early Thanksgiving. Well, it's a little early. It's just Monday. Thank you, Black Cat. Nice photos of Tashkent. Does mom go with you? Yes, she does. Mom goes with me. I was walking around Tashkent at night yesterday. Discovered a new place, new city district, very modern, called Tashkent City. Made quite a few pictures uploaded for Patreons. I will also upload for sponsors. This is my way of thanking the ones who support by giving them some extra things. Hello from Ohio. Good topic today. Thank you so much, TK. Sophie, howdy. Zdenek Pavlatka, long time no see, howdy. Timo, thank you very much. Good evening from Scotland, from Theodore. UK, Ron, Roy Campbell, howdy. There's a super chat from PJB Burke. Keep it up. You can count on me. I'll keep it up. Thank you so very much. I think I'm gonna take a Thanksgiving off and perhaps a couple more days in the upcoming week. Gotta take care of personal things. The Highwayman, good evening. What a great story about your grandpa. Thank you so very much. Perhaps I'm gonna make a video and upload it, not the stream, but a video about my American Thanksgiving experience, you know. Alberta and Stella, welcome to Inside Russia, new sponsor. Thank you so much. Howdy of the utmost degree, I like that. Thank you, Leslie. Dave RC Detailing. Danny Strom. Denise DDS, after 10 days, Jay Leno was released from hospital this morning. Yay. I know Jay Leno personally. visited his show, was invited by him to the Tonight Show, was guest of honor, not on the stage, but I went to the stage afterwards. I think it was 2002. Hello, good sir. Thank you, Sam. Janice Burgess, howdy. It was a very good analysis. Thank you for that. Sophie, thank you very much. Grace Philosophy, howdy, howdy. Retro King. Rachel Brannan. The French say the more things change, the more they stay the same. It's a good one. Never heard of that, but I'll write it down. Mom now is international superstar. Watching that, Mom? Howdy, howdy from Pacific Beach, California. Charlie B. Hello. There's a new sponsor, Femme Fatale. Welcome to Inside Russia. Thank you. Are you French? Isabel Ligo, Constant, did you hear what about Wind of Change? I just learned about it a couple days ago. I haven't had a chance to look into it. But yeah, it's interesting. Sounds interesting. Susan Angelo. So then people become more dependent on government to survive? Exactly, Susan. That is a matter of control. Once you strip them of the opportunity to make money, to make living, that's it. They're yours. You decide for them. You shut them up and take away ability to make money. That's it. You decide. You say sit down, they sit down. You say jump, they jump. That's it. That's how it was in the USSR. Thank you. MM, thank you. Tasty Period has had to be the worst name for a restaurant. Don't tell me that. Defense rests its case. I don't know why they picked the name. Anything would have been better. Marketing needs to get their act together. What I think is the new owner is very eccentric guy. He was choosing or making the name himself, and then he didn't listen to anyone. That's terrible. I know, it's crazy. Luke, thank you so much. Is Russia going to become USSR 2.0 or North Korea 2.0? Luke, great question as always. Thank you for the support, and listen to this. There are 3 scenarios. This is what I'm thinking myself. There are 3 scenarios. One scenario, you nailed it. USSR 2.0. Another scenario is not North Korea 2.0, simply North Korea. Plain and simple. And the third is the democracy. Okay? And I'm doing the analysis right now. So at one point, Russia will be at the crossroad. And people will have to make the choice. If people don't out of the picture of making choice, then it's going to be most likely the mix between the hybrid between the USSR and North Korea. Okay, if people are involved, might be a democracy. So thank you so very much. Please keep on tuning in. I'm gonna answer that question for sure. Jason Carney, thank you so very much. Huge support, much needed, much appreciated. I'm gonna be traveling a bit. I'm gonna go to a nearby country, not Russia, but I could use the money. Thank you so much. Jason Carney has given 10 people sponsorship, the gift of sponsorship. Thank you so much, Jason. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Huge help. Look, if you want Devito, kind of funny that Russians adopted the word kaput. It's a German word, sweet smile. Well, I know it's a German word, but we have quite a few German words. One of them is kaput. A. Cohen, the whole country is like a Kafka movie. Okay, that is 100% true, but you know what? I just had a thought. I would like to thank you all, the ones who communicate, the ones who give feedback. Reading your comments and conversing with you is an intellectual honor, okay? A Kafka movie, how many people in real life know who Kafka is and what he's about? And you know, and you converse and you give me feedback, the one that pleases me intellectually. So thank you so very much. A. Cohen and, all of you. Thank you. Black Cat. Love you folks helping the channel. Thank you so much. Well, Black Cat, you've been helping yourself quite a bit. Thank you so very much. Blood, sweat, and gears. One thing, it'll happen when it's all over. No businesses will ever want to do business in Russia again. Although it's not in caps, it's a good question. I keep on saying exactly the same thing to Russians I know. And a lot are saying, you don't know them. They're all about money. They will come back as soon as it's over. They'll start doing business. I'm thinking they're absolutely crazy. Who would? If you run into a situation like that, when your assets are not protected, your property law is not, ownership is not respected, it's like a highway robbery, basically, what's being done right now. If I was an investor, international investor, my playground is the entire world. There are so many other countries that are much safer, okay? And I would go there. I would never go to Russia again. This is bad. Magnus, howdy. Katharina Holm, with more than 40 years B2B international experience, your analysis is spot on. Thank you so very much. Coming from an expert, this comment is warming my heart. Thank you. Howdy from London, Frau Debs. Howdy. Danny Strom, channel is awesome. Thank you so much. First time you're watching it live. Well, great. Так. Theodore, are sanctions working? As it seems very vlogger. Every vlogger says not working anywhere in Russia. Are sanctions working? As it seems that every vlogger says it's not working anywhere in Russia. You know what funny thing is? I've seen a few videos lately, and this is what vloggers do. They take the camera, they go to a shopping mall, and they film everything, right? They film, what can you find in a shopping mall? Most stores are open. Some are closed. Closed stores in a shopping mall is a bad sign, because all stores must be open. So then the second thing they say is like, look, there are people, there are, there's traffic, there are stores and everything like that. But the thing is, you've got to look at different things, my friends. The stores can be open, but how full are they? This right now, November and December, the busiest time of the year in Russia. People go shopping. They might go someplace outside in the good weather in the summertime, but come September and October, everyone is on there shopping in the shopping malls, okay? This is Russian culture. Watch the videos from a couple years ago, from a year ago, at this time, and watch the videos now, and compare not the stores open, but compare how many people are there in the shopping malls, in the stores. That's what you should be looking at, Okay. Um, I yet to see a good analysis about Russian economy, how nothing has changed, how everything is doing great. Okay. Everyone just taking a camera saying, "Oh, look, the subway is open. Oh, the restaurants are open. Oh, this is open," and stuff like that. No, economy is not about that. Okay, but economy is a little different than that. I've been giving you different economic analysis and the science. Look at the science. The collapse is right at the door. It's gonna happen. What the hell is going to happen on December 6th? Any one of you understands, Russian vloggers? When Russian oil is stopped being accepted everywhere in the world because it's under sanctions. The Turks freaking closed their territory for Russian ships to ship oil out. Has anyone been talking about that? What are you gonna do after that? Because Russia is getting its money mostly from oil and gas. Oi. Sorry about going on. It's very sensitive question. All I gotta say is think. Just think. Use your brain. Use your head. Your head is for thinking, not for eating. Okay. Sorry. Riviere, 1862, 27. Thank you as always. Merci beaucoup from Canada, from French Canada. You're a Quebecois. Thank you. Merci beaucoup. Thank you. Thank you so much. Jason Carney, thank you so very much. That's very generous of you. Another super chat. Enjoy your trip. I will. It's not so much of enjoyment, but of necessity. But you gotta do what I gotta do, you know. Probably will miss a few streams. Hawk, thank you so much. Question: in about 1 year, Russia will collapse economically and surrender unconditionally. Then the West can not only demand reparations for Ukraine, but also compensation for these companies. I doubt there will be compensation for the companies, but reparations definitely. And you're spot on. But Russian bloggers out there, they're saying the sanctions not working. Okay, so what you're saying makes two of us. I'm saying the same thing, right? But of course, there are other Russian bloggers, the mighty force. And by the way, I would love to be mistaken. I would love to say that, you know what, Russia is out of Ukraine, everything's back to normal, economy is great, you know, look, all these companies came back. If that happens, you know, I'll take it. But it's wishful thinking. Why, folks, do you keep on saying all the time, "Oh, you gotta change the name of the channel"? I'm still inside Russia because my mind is still inside Russia. This my country is Russia. I was born and raised in Russia. Okay, I'm not inside Uzbekistan. I'm physically here, but this is like, I can't say it's prison. It's not prison. I'm free, but it's just a place. You know, I'm still in Russia. I read the news. I speak to people like time after time after time every day. This is where I am at. Okay, and this physically I'm in Uzbekistan, but that's about it. Why would I change the name of my channel? Robert Morgan, I'm late. I'll have to watch the replay. The government needs the chips from the clothes and the dishwashers. Yeah. Elsha, thank you so very much. The band Kino, Retro Kid. Do you know the band Kino? One of my favorite bands of all time, Victor Tsoi. You should listen to the Nukino Tsoi singing solo, and the music by the same artists who wrote the music, but they redid it 25 years ago. Be a Constructor, I've heard of it, not my favorite. Madeline Mond, please explain the concept of vranyo. It's like every time I ask this thing, this is a stream. This is a complicated thing enough for do a stream, so I'm not gonna explain the concept of vranyo right now. I'm seeing it every day, by the way. Come to Antalya. Tanyu Yagan. Or Yagan, rather, Yagan. Thank you so much. Antalya, love Antalya. One of the best cities I've seen. Oh my gosh, I love Antalya. I love Kemir, right next to Antalya. The mountains that they come to the sea. Oh my goodness, one of the best places I've visited. The highwayman, don't say highway robbery, scares me. That's funny. Watching FIFA games, USA against Wales. I just learned today that the FIFA World Cup opened. I've been so busy. Double M, they had a chance to get them back, but not after Bucha and Zoom. Cannot disagree with you on that. Hard to disagree with you on that. There you go. No joy tonight. Ferrari guy, the Russian mentality that international investors are only about money, might that be called projection? That might be, yes. Riviere, 1862. Hi, Constantine. I'm a French from New Brunswick, Canada. I spent 8 years of my life in Old Orchard Beach, Maine. I saw many French Canadians from Quebec. But there weren't anyone from New Brunswick. That's far away. Interesting. Excellent. Thank you, Lori Lane. Franz Kafka. Yeah. He's a fantastic writer. His works make you think about life. Dave's RC, good question. Were the decrees to keep half of the stockholders' value assets before or after February 24th? I think you meant 2022. Of course, after March 7th. Before was, you could sell your company. You could, before. I'm saying, look, doing business in Russia was somewhat normal. Okay, there were certain details, so to speak, but it was more or less normal. That's why so many Western foreign companies were here doing business. It was okay. Everything started happening. The stinky substance started hitting the fan after the 24th of February. February is still quiet because everyone was in shock. They didn't know what was going on. It started in March, early to mid-March. Black Cat. Inside Russia, this is for your mom for flowers. This is from the mods and fellow legends. Moms deserve flowers. Thank you so much. I will buy her flowers, and that's more than enough. I'll buy her, I don't know, some other treat. Beverly Mogensen, I just heard from a Russian friend that Putin is going to declare martial law after the new year. You misspelled martial law. It's not martial. It's Martial. I made the same mistake and I was corrected right after. I heard that before. That's the latest rumor going around. And you know what? I kind of think that there's a good probability of that happening. He might. He might very well. That's one of the new exit strategies that came up. We'll see. We'll see very soon. Luke, is there another option, Chinese vassal, in a similar way Belarus is to Russia? Complicated. We're getting there in a way by the actions of the government. Like right now, we're selling oil to Chinese. Was it oil or gas? No, gas. I'm sorry. We're selling gas at $2.60, where it costs us to extract $3.50, $3.70, and we used to sell Europeans for $800. That's what kind of service we're doing to China right now. Okay. That deserves analysis. I wish I could, answer right on the spot. I can't. I gotta think about that. So, one of the latest streams will talk about that. Lorna, do they sell flowers in Tashkent? Yes, of course. They sell flowers at the local bazaar. There are a couple flower shops. When Natasha came, she was walking into the door. I bought her 35 roses. It's a huge bouquet. She was very, very happy about that. Moto Tom, tip for travel. Thank you so very much. Needed and appreciated. Just watched your Texas brisket with the boys from a year ago. The place was very busy. Oh my gosh. My friend. That was probably the most enjoyable stream. I had so much fun. I was feeling like a kid, and it was right on the verge of tragedy. It was like the last happy days that we were having. I recall it still. Right after I met Slava, Russian Plus, I meet him for breakfast. He's part of the Breakfast Club. By the way, the news about the Breakfast Club, if any of you watched, some of you watched the stream from the Breakfast Club, there was me, Slava, and another fellow called Andrei, and he's 23, and he's a neighbor of mine from Taganrog. Taganrog is right on the border with Ukraine, about like 20 miles from Mariupol. Taganrog is high-tech cluster of Russia, many high-tech companies, and Andrei is a programmer, and he is an expert in blockchain and cryptocurrencies. So what we are organizing tomorrow at the Breakfast Club, Andrei will come and he will give a lecture to everyone what blockchain is and cryptocurrency, free of charge, of course. He's just gonna explain everyone what is a cryptocurrency, how to use it, what are the risks, what are the advantages, and so forth. And I think that's pretty cool. And this is going to be the new thing of the Breakfast Club, because many of us are expert at different areas. So I'm going to pick the experts, and they're going to give us lectures about what they do. And I think that's a pretty good idea. Kostin Kevner. That's you again? Isabelle Legault, pretty good French. Constantine, merci beaucoup. Dave's RC detailing, that was priceless. Brother Randall, howdy. North Korea 2.0 like Russia right now. No, no, Fiyuma, no, 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 no. Don't exaggerate, please. North Korea is terrible. In Russia, you still can leave. Okay, you still can do business somewhat. You still, if you're on a very low level, like individual or a small company, it's still okay. You know, if you like serving people, making food at the restaurant, they don't touch you. You know. What else? You can dress the way you like. You have internet. You have different channels on TV. You have TVs. That's not North Korea. Not yet. Pamela J. St. Petersburg, me says shelves are full, shopping carts are empty. This is it. Look not at the amount of goods at the stores. There are plenty of goods. The warehouses are stocked. Look at how many people buying and what they're buying, at what price, what they're looking for, and how much food, how many products there are in the shopping carts. That's what you should be looking at. Not oh, the store is open. Oh, it's great, you know, the supermarket's open. This is what you're gonna be looking at. People and what they buy, how much they buy, how much, what kind of they. Right now, everyone is looking down the bottom shelf products. You know, before they were looking at the upper shelf. Jake Allen, thank you so very much from Australia. Yes, thank you. I appreciate it. Thorsten Kraft, companies will return if expected revenue is higher than the risk losing the investments. Maybe they get an offer to buy back for 10% of the market price. Who they gonna get offer from? Because the companies are bought at the discount, not by the government, but the people, the companies. Perhaps they're connected with the government officials. They might, you know. I'm not saying anything. I'm saying hypothetically they could be, you know. They're not gonna sell anything with discount after it's over, if it's over, you know. It's theirs now, you know. Thorsten, I consider this opportunity of them coming back very, how do I say, very improbable. Klaus Tover, thank you. Maybe China will take over most of Russia by putting Russia in debt. I think they're gonna make a puppet state. They're gonna might take some territory like Manchuria, and of course they're gonna buy everyone right out, and they're gonna put Russia in debt. Perhaps Russians in debt, because guess what? The Chinese banks, Russian government was afraid of China, and for the good reason. They regulated to keep construction companies away, or Chinese from Russia, Chinese banks away. But now, of course, the borders are open. They're not keeping away. The Chinese payment system called Union Pay is replacing MasterCard and Visa in Russia, okay? So Chinese are coming in a big way. At least they're trying real hard. Don Walters, thank you so very much. Appreciate support and help. Thank you. All to know. That's very difficult topic, you know. Samuel Keller, do you think another Lenin type person possible in Russia? Honestly, I don't know. I don't know anything anymore. What's gonna happen in the future? No one does, because you know what? I thought, I was absolutely sure that this Russia attacking Ukraine would be absolutely impossible. I was thinking like this, okay? If Russia attacks Ukraine, then anything is possible. The Martians can come down, this is the last thing can happen. And it happened. So since from then on, I don't know. They might be a Lenin type person in Russia. They might not be. So we'll see. We shall wait and see. My friends, I'd like to wrap it up and invite everyone into prayer. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for giving me another chance to deliver my message. There will be a stream tomorrow, Tuesday. There will be one on Wednesday. Now, most likely they will not be due to Thanksgiving. I will try to release a video. And Friday, Saturday, I'll give you a further notice. I don't know. Thank you so very much. Let's finish this stream with a prayer. So next day will be better than today. Thank you. Dear God, thank you so much for giving us this day. Thank you for putting food on our tables and giving roofs over our heads. Thank you for surrounding us with people that we love, who we love, and who love us. Thank you. Please help our children, keep them healthy and safe. Please give us wisdom to raise them the way that they will become righteous. They will become good. They will become light. And they will make this world a better place. We'll never be engaged with war with each other. Dear God, please stop the bloodshed in Ukraine. We need your help. We're asking you to reach out and touch people's hearts, of peoples who can make decisions to stop the bloodshed. Please do so. Perform your miracle or miracles. Make them realize what's been done so they absolutely be terrified, and they will make this bloodshed stop. Please help everyone who's been affected in Ukraine. People have suffered a lot and they need a break. Please answer everyone's prayer and make everyone's wish come true. You know much better than I do how to touch every single person's who's been affected heart to help, and please do that. Please send an angel to every single Ukrainian soldier or person who's in Ukraine, to the soldiers, Ukrainian soldiers, Russian soldiers, civilians, regular people. So the angels keep everyone away from harm's way. Please help my country, Russia. Send the strongest angels with the sharpest swords, led by Saint Michael, to help Russia to remove the demons that have hijacked it, and make angels run my country, make it righteous again, please. Please help everyone who's helping Ukraine. God bless those people. Please give us all peace. Give us all a break from this terrible events. We need hope. We need new life. Life that is peaceful. Life that has future. Life where we can plan. life where our kids grow up and nothing bad happens to them, life where people don't die, don't get killed by other people. We need that. Please help. Thank you so very much. I'm asking for the ones who travel, the ones who seek political asylum, the ones who try to escape places they need to escape, the ones who oppose and get punished for that, oppose bad things and stand up for good things and get punished for that. Please help them. Also asking for pregnant women, please, they need help. The ones who are deciding whether to keep their babies or not, reach out and talk to them so they make the right choice. Thank you so much for bringing us into this community. Thank you for allowing us to pray. Please help everyone who's praying right now or watching us pray. Answer everyone's prayer, make everyone's wish come true. I would like to ask for some people who need your help. They are Yelena, Natasha, Jake, Michael, Oля, Dasha, Sky, Bonnie, Galina, Janine, Michael Milkowitz, Marlene, Paul Binns, Rudy Kaisley, Richard, Mallory M., Dirk Misler and his father, James Rhodes, Terry, Brittany S., Lars Henrik, Hannah and her children, Richard Burris, Ian, Angelica at Life, Ant UK, Scan Family's grandson, Grace, Barb, Randolph, Nelly, Arkady and Yuri that are in Mykolaiv in Ukraine, Harry's family, Brian McManus, Merlinda's niece, Doug, Rafaela From and Anna, Priscilla, Michelin, King Nero, Gaby Hyman, Donald, Deborah, Alice and Dave Moyers, Terry Scrugg, Janice Burgess, Maureen M. and her sister, Mr. Hanson, Heidi, Bob, Tony, Kayleen, Rob, Umel, Jennifer, Matt, Ashley and her family, Mr. Dean Spooner and his church called Our Savior Lutheran Church, Barry Reading's sister, Leslie Fleming, Lisa Cumrian, the Highwayman, Jacob, Adam Oliver, Treasure, asking for good health and good news, Kyle's wife, Grace Philosophy, username Painted to find love in his life, Maggie, sister, and the father of Vyacheslav in Kharkov, Ukraine, who needs help very, very much. Also, I'd like to ask for 4 special children. They are Cadence, Maverick, Sebastian, Coulter. Please help perform your miracle to every one of them and show your mercy to their families. Please have them have happy and long lives. I also would like to ask for all children who have been affected in Ukraine by the tragical events. Please send help, send love, send good life to every single one. Thank you, dear Lord Jesus Christ. Amen. My friends, thank you very much for coming. Thank you. I appreciate giving me a chance to deliver the message, commenting, supporting. Thank you. There will be another message tomorrow, as usual, stream at the usual time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are absolutely awesome and you rock. And I will see you all tomorrow. Carthago delende est.